These are the dominant 7th chords on the 2, 3, 4, 5 string family on F sharp or G flat. So we'll start with the basic ones. The root position, G flat, D flat, F flat, and B flat. First inversion, B flat or A sharp, E, F sharp, and C sharp. Second inversion, C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, E. And E, A sharp, C sharp, F sharp. Okay, so I'll be mixing flats and sharps as expedient. So on the first one, we'll be able to take the A sharp up top and the soprano to B for a suspended, also down to G sharp for a suspended sound. It's kind of like a C sharp over F sharp in this case. The tenor voice goes from C sharp to D sharp with an A sharp up top, F sharp, D sharp, E, and A sharp. 13th chord, 5th moving to 6th. Top voice moving to B for a suspended with a 13th, and then to G sharp. So a lot of inner voice movement there. Also, F sharp, D sharp, E, and C sharp. Okay. Moving in the opposite direction. Going in this direction. 11th chord, F, B, E, and G sharp. E major over F, so sort of an 11th chord. Again, we have those available in this mode or sound. Going to the normal 9th chord, F sharp, A sharp, E, and G sharp. Voice exchange, G sharp and F sharp. So G sharp, A sharp, E, and F sharp. And then move the A sharp to B. Suspended sound, move it to C sharp. And we can see how it's related to C sharp minor. And we should say that C sharp minor, E major type sounds, or E major 7 type sounds with a flat 5. And otherwise, and also B flat minor 7 flat 5 sounds relate to this. So this has sort of a suspended sound. Again, going downwards with this chord, we can go to the E. We're sort of borrowing into the E territory from here. But this is common, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp, and E, so sort of a 13th chord. And if we lower the A sharp to G sharp, it looks like an E major, sort of added 9 or added 2 sort of sound there. And again, moving upwards now. Now if we move to a G sharp, we take the F sharp 7, G sharp, C sharp, E, and A sharp. We can move the top voice to B, and we can see that that's a C sharp minor 7. We can take this voice, the alto, to D sharp. So we can, all that interchangeability, embellishment. So we can hear that. Also, C sharp to D sharp, E major 7. Sounds like an 11th chord, sort of sound. We can move the B to C sharp. So that's a bit of a stretch, but it works. We can move the B to the A sharp, so it's an E major 7 flat 5. G sharp, D sharp, E, and A sharp. Sounds like a 13th type of chord on F sharp. So that's including the 9th. Moving forward, G sharp, E, F sharp, and C sharp is okay. C sharp can move to D sharp as well, and also to A sharp. So you can hear that, all related. And in fact, all we have to do is move the G sharp to A sharp. So it's sort of an embellishment on the typical dominant 7, A sharp, E, F sharp, and C sharp. The C sharp can move to D sharp, and now it's a 13th chord. Moving back, can move to a B if you want to. The F sharp can move to G sharp. There's our B flat minor 7 flat 5. Sounds Sounds like a ninth chord, and from there we can move the C sharp to D sharp. We can hear all these relate. So they're all F sharp 7 types. Moving back to this. Now we can move back in the opposite direction. If we get to that A sharp, we can play A sharp, B, E, and G sharp. So we have a quality, like a suspended fourth quality. We have A sharp, and we have like a B, an E triad over an A sharp. Now from there, if we move the B to C sharp, there's our B flat minor 7 flat 5, which is like a ninth chord. Move the C sharp to D sharp. Very useful F sharp 7 type. Has a voice exchange quality to it from the basic. Now we can also move this A sharp to B, and there's an E major 7, again sounding like an 11th chord. B, D sharp, E, and G sharp, and we can move that, maybe the top G sharp to C sharp. A little bit of a reach, but it's accessible. Now from here, if we move this up and plane it, C sharp, E, F sharp, and A sharp. There's our straight up and down F sharp 7. And if we raise the F sharp to G sharp, that gives us a ninth chord. Sort of a B minor 7 flat 5, only a closed voicing. Okay. So that's the general outlay up to the B so far. Now we'll go to the C sharp. Before I go to the C sharp, there are of course other voicings that can be planed. Like if we go back to the G sharp and we get to the C sharp, we can see these sort of forms. Yeah. Look at this, B, E, F sharp, and C sharp, sort of a suspended. And then kind of doing that, staying within the tonality, and of course, you see how the C sharp minor 7 and the E sort of sound like an E major sound like a suspended version of the F sharp 7, G flat 7. Moving back now, well, I'll stay here. We've done this with the C sharp, so now we'll go forwards. And here's a C sharp minor 9, which is common, that we all know. C sharp, E, B, and D sharp. That sounds like a suspended version of the F sharp 7. And if we move B to A sharp, there's like a 13th chord. And if we move the C sharp to D, and we voice exchange C sharp and D sharp, we have D sharp, E, A sharp, and C sharp. All dominant 7 types on F sharp, those are all fine. And if we move back to a normal C sharp minor 7, if we take the B down to A sharp, we have a ninth chord. So we have again a B flat minor 7 flat 5 sound, which sounds like a ninth over the F sharp. So we're moving backwards again. Also the standard C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, and E. Moving the A sharp to G sharp, and even from there, if we move C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, and E, we move the A sharp down to G sharp, and then we move the C sharp to A sharp. We have an interesting sort of ninth chord, which is I can play it here. That's a nice ninth chord voicing. Okay, all fourths: C sharp, F sharp, B and E, of course. It's a suspended sort of sound for that chord. Moving forward into the D sharp, and we've already done this one off of D sharp. But also we can use this sort of sound. This is an E over D sharp, an E major 7, and embellish it with an A sharp on top. D sharp, B, E, and G sharp with an A sharp on top, and then resolving. resolving to a typical 13th E, B flat, or A sharp, D sharp, and F sharp, which is an embellishment, of course, of the traditional. This is an E, A sharp, C sharp, and F sharp, which we'll get to in a moment. So there's a basic D sharp type voicing. And again, it sort of goes into some different territory here, right, like this. So you have this D sharp, G sharp, B, and F sharp. Move the B to the A sharp, and then move down to a C sharp, and you sort of have an add 9 on F sharp, and eventually, if you keep moving voices in that manner, you get back to the B flat minor 7 flat 5. So kind of here. And then, okay, moving to the E. The E major sounds will sound like a suspended version. Here's an E major 7, straight up and down, E, G sharp, B, and D sharp. Sounds like a nice 11th chord. Now if you move the B to A sharp, very good 13th chord type sound. E, G sharp, A sharp, D sharp. And going back to the E major 7, even just moving that up to E, G sharp, B, and F sharp, and then moving down. That's a great 9th chord sound. E, G sharp, A sharp, and F sharp. F sharp 9. Now this will lead us on to this again. E, A sharp, C sharp, and F sharp. Move the F sharp to G sharp. And again, there's the B flat minor 7 flat 5, which is an F sharp 9. And we can hear how that resolves. Okay, moving ahead, now we have this E, B flat. We took E, A sharp, C sharp, and F sharp. We move the C sharp to D sharp for a 13th chord, but also let's move the F sharp to G sharp, which is a 13th type chord as well with a 9th. So it looks like an E major 7 with a flat 5. And of course, if we move the A sharp to the B, E major 7, and then, and also we can move from this F sharp 7, E, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, move the C sharp to B to make it sound like again, another suspended type voicing, and maybe move the top to G sharp, E, A sharp, B, and G sharp. E, C sharp, F sharp, G sharp. Back to this. Now also F sharp, A sharp, D sharp, and E. That's a typical 13th chord voicing. And we got it from voice exchange here. E, A sharp, D sharp, and F sharp. Exchange the E's and the F sharp. So E goes to F sharp goes to E. Very nice 13th chord right there. And of course, E, C sharp, F sharp, and A sharp. That's a typical F sharp 7 sound voice exchange on the original. F sharp and E's exchange. Instead of F sharp, C sharp, E, and A sharp, we merely exchanged F sharp went down to E, E went to F sharp. And then the top G sharp can move, and then we're back. So that will give us a broad overview of the dominant 7th type chords on the 2, 3, 4, 5 string family on F sharp, G flat.